where we are now, but we're not exactly where we should have been. I don't know if that captures it. We made progress from where we were, but we are not where we should have been. So that is for me the sum of how we perform with the MDGs. A lot of things happened relating to the MDGs. A lot of things happened relating to, specific investments in sectors that will improve the lives of people, that make sure Nigeria trended towards achieving the goals, but we're quite far from, from the desired, from where we should have been by now.
On the downside, the world is seeing a record number of people displaced by crisis, some 60 million according to the latest United Nations figures. The United Nations Population Fund works in emergency settings around the globe to respond to the rights and needs of women and girls, helping them maintain their dignity, securing their safety, and restoring their access to sexual and reproductive health care. In Africa, children under age 15 account for 41% of the population in 2015, and young persons aged 15 to 24 account for a further 19%. Latin America and the Caribbean and Asia, which have seen greater declines in fertility, have smaller 3% of children and similar percentages of youth in total. These three regions are home to 1.7 billion children and 1.1 billion young persons in 2015. These children and young people are future workers and parents who can help to build a brighter future for their countries. Providing them with health care, education, and employment opportunities, particularly in the poorest countries and groups, will be a critical focus of the new Sustainable Development Agenda.
Our asks are basic. One, every child has a right. We are asking for universal health coverage. We are asking for education. We are asking for nutrition. Now, all these, if you ask me, are about the child. But again, for that to happen, we also have to put systems in place to ensure that the mother, who is the one to take care of the child, is taken care of. So what we actually have like a project that looks at, so kind of is a social protection project, we'll call it. And it looks at cash transfer, unconditional cash transfer. The only thing you need to qualify as a woman is that you're pregnant and that you have a test that says positive to qualify for that. Because the mother too needs nutrition in order to have a healthy pregnancy, to have a healthy child, and to be able to take care of that child to a large extent. But what we are trying to do now is to advocate so that the government takes over that cash transfer, because it won't be sustainable if it's just the development organizations that are doing it. Because if America says they're no longer funding us, for instance, what happens? We'll go back to the way things were before. So for us, everything we are doing is looking at is a holistic approach to ensure that there's a healthy family, so that from that healthy family comes a healthy child and a healthy leader at the end of the day.
According to the United Nations Secretary General, not since the end of the Second World War have so many people been forced from their homes across the planet, with nearly 60 million individuals having fled conflict or disaster. Women and adolescent girls are particularly vulnerable. Violent extremists and armed groups are committing terrible abuses that result in trauma, unintended pregnancy, and infection with HIV and other diseases. Experts advocate at the same time that we must continuously advance women's human rights in times of both turmoil and calm in order to enable them to help avert conflict, stand strong should it strike, and foster the healing that is so badly needed in war-torn societies.
All we can do is to advocate to government to ensure that they put their resources together. If you need help from the international community, feel free to ask for it and come and stem what is going on in our own country. Then for those that have already been affected, those in the IDPs, let's start thinking of ways, strategies, so that they can be reabsorbed into the communities. And even while they're there, because the truth is, when it comes to nation rebuilding, it's going to take a while. This is not a problem that can be solved in the next couple of months or in the next 1 year. So some of the things you're looking at now, education in emergencies, that should be one area of focus for government right now. For those kids who are in the IDPs, how do they have access to education even while they're in the camps? Then what do we do to even protect the schools from armed conflict? Those are the things we need to see government doing from now moving forward to ensure that at least in the next couple of years,